Yeah, so they would talk about how like the television's just, they call it the television because it's telling lies to your vision was one of the things I remember hearing. And I used to think, man, anything to make it sound cool or whatever. But the truth is, it's the truth. We've been programmed since we were little. What up, baby? We back once again, episode 2 of Rated G. I'm here with my boy, Brian Licata, producer extraordinaire. And, it's me, Gary G. Garcia. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody made it through another week. And hope you're feeling hopeful about the things to come. The weather's starting to get nicer. Today's a little bit of sun. I had my windows down. It felt good to get some fresh air. Brian, how are you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling good. I'm enjoying the fresh air. I fucking hate the wintertime, man. It's just like this. It's like 3 months of depression, and then the sun comes out, and I feel good. I saw a meme today that was like, we've been depressed all year, and then it's sunny, and it feels like we just popped a Molly. And that's kind of how I felt when I woke up this morning.
Oh, that's a good feeling, man. That I didn't feel that good. I'm sure one of the questions on I don't know if we have listeners yet, but on my mind is, did you ever book the flight on Spirit? Did you get the flight booked?
I did get it booked. I drove all the way out to the airport, and they stopped ticket sales at 4:00, and I got there at 4:15. So I spent the next 30 minutes driving back from the airport on the phone with somebody else, probably the most helpful person that Spirit has in the entire network.
Yeah, you were able to hear them. They were listening.
Yeah, they were listening. They were hearing, and I got it booked. I'm leaving St. Patty's Day, the 17th.
Oh, and where are you going?
I'm going down to West Palm. So I'm going down West Palm, check out Palm Beach, rented a convertible.
What's that, Florida?
Yeah, Florida.
All right. I'm not good with where places are. Like I don't even know where I've been most of the time. I have to look at the flyers to figure out where I've been. I myself have decided not to move.
Oh, okay.
About last week.
Yep.
It was just the minute I was even dealing with moving again, I just had all this weight on me, and I said, fuck it, man. The dude was willing to give me a year lease. I took a year lease. I'm an AC people for another year. So you'll still be able to catch me out here every day, unless I'm not here. If that makes any sense, man, But the first podcast came out. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. I hope this next one's good. I'm a little shot, been up all day. Woke up early today, like around 9. 9 is very early for me, I remember 6 used to be early for me. What time do you normally wake up? What's your normal wake up time?
So when I'm working at the golf course, I'm up at like 5:30. Last summer I was waking up at 3:30 every day. Horrible.
You were waking up, and I wasn't
right?
even going to sleep.
Yeah, I know. I would get on the road, and I would see people like coming back from AC when I was leaving. People catching the bus back, the jitney or whatever.
That's insane. Every time I wake up early and I go outside, I'm always amazed that there's a world that's going on like before 12 o'clock. I'm always amazed. Like, I look around, I go, damn, I remember I used to be that person out there at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. That's insane how they make people work like that. Like, what are you doing at 5 in the morning that you can't do at 11?
Yeah, so when I was working on the golf course, we have to get all the maintenance done before the golfers come, because they as soon as the sun comes up, at least in the spring and the summertime, there'll be people playing golf from 7 to 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
7 till 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, you got these old white guys like lawyers.
It's a good way to get away from your wife. I'm pretty sure husbands hate when their wives play golf because they're like, fuck. Now I got to bring you with me. I can't get away just for a little fucking while. Do you play golf?
No, absolutely not.
I've tried it. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult.
I don't know about extremely, but it's definitely harder than it looks.
It's hard, man.
I don't know if extremely difficult is the word. I mean, but it is definitely harder than it looks. I was very surprised. Tennis too. Tennis, you know, I thought it was going to be a lot easier for some reason. Maybe because I played handball, so I thought it was going to be a lot easier. But yeah, I don't know.
Handball's a sport they really don't play outside of New York City.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's where I grew up, there was no handball courts, but when I would go visit family in Brooklyn, the courts were all over every park.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Atco, which is in Camden County. It's like a small suburb of Philly.
A Philly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, like I said, I don't know places, man. What's that? Geography? Is that what that would be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm horrible at that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know how I knew the word just now. I really don't. Like, I don't even know how I knew the word geography. I'm so bad at all that shit. I go to clubs sometimes and I say the wrong place. I don't even know where I'm at. I was in Ohio once and I was doing jokes this in Ohio and they weren't hitting and I couldn't understand why. And then Mike's like, dude, we're in Ohio. You just called them ugly or some shit, you know? It's crazy. I love Ohio. I love my people in Ohio, man. You know, I do. Ohio's always been good to me. Philly. By the way, Philly, let's see how it goes tonight. I'll be in Philly tonight for the first time. You're coming out. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we sell some tickets. It's been a stressful week, man, but I got through it. You know, lost focus here and there. I was talking about that last week. Once you lose focus, that's when everything starts to... But I'm feeling good. I got a lot off my chest today, you know, and I can't say I don't feel good. I feel good. I'm excited. Let's see what happens tonight. This is me excited. I'm excited, you know.
What do you usually do if you see yourself losing focus? You got some sort of system?
A blunt.
Yeah.
You know, smoke a blunt. Try to shut up and relax for a second. You know. Yesterday I saw like a 6-car pileup on my way back from New York, like unfold, like not right in front of me. Like I saw it unfolding and I was like, oh, and started slowing down. But like even the cars that were in front of me was swerving
right
in front of me. It was crazy. Like I always wondered how a pileup like that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't you see these cars crashing? But it was interesting. I made it through again. I'm telling you, boy, I got an angel that just stares my car a lot. That's like the third time I've almost gotten to like some serious shit. You got a very concerned look on your face. What's going on?
Yeah, you just went out of focus for a little bit. I'm going to mess with it. You can keep talking.
Oh, that's probably my demons trying to come out and shit. You know what I'm saying? I would love to blow up so much that they would think I'm a reptilian. That's how you know. That's how you know you made it, right? You know you made it when people are saying, yo, this dude isn't even human. He's a reptilian. I want to be reptilian large. I don't want to be pedophilia large. I feel like there's two ways of blowing up nowadays. You're either a reptilian or you're touching little kids' peepees and tetas. You know what I'm saying? It's one or the other. It's almost like you can't be famous unless you're completely fucking fucked up and drinking fucking baby blood. Or like, you know, your mascara got fucking baby foreskins. That's when you know.
What the fuck are you saying right now?
Yo, you don't know about that, dog?
I don't know anything about.
There's actual makeup that one of the ingredients is fucking baby foreskins, man. You know, Oprah's a big, at least that's what they say. You know what I'm saying? Oprah's a big pusher of the baby foreskin formulas and the makeup and shit. You know. I was wondering, like, because they say it helps you to stay looking young. You're looking it up. You're bugging out right now.
Yo.
You see that, right? I'm not lying, dog.
I thought this was going to be like a cat get high in the ear type situation.
No, dude, see, my shit, I check. You know what I'm saying? I'm terrible at remembering like what shit's called and the names, but I know what I know.
You're like, what state is West Palm Beach in?
Yeah,
but yeah, there's foreskin in.
There's foreskins in ladies' makeups, man. Ladies, know what you're putting on your face. And they say it's to make them look young, you know. But then my question is, because how many baby foreskins can you possibly get? I mean, I guess there's babies being born, but there's so little, you know. So what happens if they run out of baby foreskins? Will they then go and use old man foreskins? Like, is that like and they just say it's baby foreskins? Like, will any foreskin do?
All right, And
if you use an old man's foreskin, would it make you, like, does it add wrinkles? You know what I'm saying? The baby foreskins make you young, old man foreskins. I don't know, man. I'm just digging for dirt right here, baby. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, let me read this real quick to enlighten the listeners. It says, baby foreskin being used in beauty products is nothing new. In fact, the active ingredient in an Oprah-touted skin cream from Skin Medica uses foreskin fibroblasts that are used to grow and cultivate new cells. Just one foreskin is said to be able to grow these cells for decades.
Oh, wow. So they keep the foreskin alive somehow. They put it like in one of those petri dishes and tap it every now and then like pasta. You gotta like stir it every now and then like pasta.
Put a little salt and olive oil on top.
Yeah, you got to, how do they keep that shit fresh, man? Do they refrigerate it? That's some sick shit right there, man.
I'm surprised there hasn't been like a documentary or something that I've seen that has really like done a deep investigation on this.
We wouldn't know that if Oprah, because once you become a certain amount of like famous, that's when all that shit comes out, man. You know, Tom Hanks being a pet, everyone in Hollywood I found out during this pandemic when we were locked down that everyone in Hollywood is basically a pedophile if you go by what they say. And what's messed up is like, I look at some of them and I go, yeah, that one I believe. But then they throw The Rock in there. I'm like, not The Rock. Come on, not The Rock.
They're talking about The Rock, running for president in 2024.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, anyone can do it now. You know what I'm saying? That's how crazy, you know, like that's how much Obama has opened the door. You know, like now they're like, fuck it, we let a black man be president, so now anyone can just be president. You know, it's sort of like remember that show Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, yep.
Mount whatever, that mountain at the end that you got to get. No one was able to do it for 6 seasons. 6 seasons, no one was able to do it. Then one person made it, and then everybody just started making it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Once they open the door to people of color, I don't know when Puerto Ricans are going to get in there. You think it's going to be a Puerto Rican president?
I think they got to be a state first before that can happen.
You don't think that's Puerto Rico? I don't know. I don't know my people's history so well. I'm sorry, man. You know, I know poquito of Puerto Rican culture. Not the culture, but even still, yeah, because my culture is like New York culture.
Right. It's not really. You
know, people from Puerto Rico will probably be like, you know, like I was raised very Greek. I was brought up in Astoria, so Astoria was mostly Greek. It was very mixed, but mostly Greek. Mm-hmm. So I was raised, like not raised Greek, but there was like a lot of Greek shit in my house. A lot of statues of naked dudes wrestling, right? You know, and horses and chariots and shit. And they make the craziest statues too, man. They don't leave anything out in the detail. You know, just to walk around your house at 6 years old, seeing horse dicks in your living room. You got horse dicks in your living room. You got another statue of this dude grabbing this other dude's dick upside down, and they call this wrestling. Yeah, wrestling. 69, motherfucker. That's like it's like a hand job 69, man. Like I know that now. I didn't know that when I was young, you know. But it's crazy, man, how those things affect us as we grow older. They affect us because now, you know, I have this fetish for naked wrestling. Now I'm only fucking with you, man.
And horse dicks.
And horse dicks. I don't know what it is. But, yeah, no. Speaking of it, do you ever get into wrestling? Have you ever been like into wrestling?
Wrestling has never really done it for me. Recently, though, I've started to get into like MMA and watching like the UFC.
Yeah, of course, that's not wrestling. That's fighting.
Yeah, well, I mean, a big component of it is like, you know, the grappling and the ground game.
Yeah, but there's a difference. You know, there's a difference. They're not setting each other up on the top of the cage and then climbing up on the cage.
Oh, you're talking about like
wrestling, you know, WWF.
Nah, fuck that. A lot of kids when I was young,
regular wrestling is crazy with the circle. And they had the fucking
I never understood that. Like I
mean, I'm not trying to diss none of you wrestlers out there. I know you'll fuck me up, so don't take this wrong. I'm just not entertained, you know, when it comes to the sport of like that actual wrestling where they both start off on the floor and
right.
I mean, you know, but sitting there trying to keep it, you know, this just doesn't do it for me, man.
Yeah, my dad said at his high school that was the biggest sport. Like, you know,
of course.
like Thursday, Friday, or like whenever the matches were, like they didn't turn out for basketball games. They would turn out for the wrestling matches. Was like the big sport when he was in school.
Yeah, but they turn up for basketball. No, but it's like that in a lot of high schools and colleges too. Like they got these sports that are like huge and they're not huge. You know, lacrosse.
It's probably because they're good at it. Really, is probably why people went. You know, if there's some field hockey team at a middle school that's killing it, people are going to show up because they're winning. If the team sucked, there goes the interest with the sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You ever play sports? What sports you ever play?
I played baseball terribly. I mean, I was on the team.
A winning team?
Yeah, I mean, I think I won a championship when I was in Little League, but I stopped playing high school ball after
it sucks
like 10th grade.
Sucky team, yo.
That's the worst, especially if you're the shittiest player on the sucky team, which usually was me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was a shitty player for a while. I got a little better as I went up. But, never really played I played basketball like on the street, and I played on a team one year. My shit was baseball. That was my shit. Handball, but I never played on a team.
Right.
I miss those days of going out to play. Out here, man, I can't find a basketball court in Atlantic City without a car. There's no fucking parks.
Yeah, the only court I know of is the Sovereign Ave. That school back there. People
they got schools out here? I don't see fucking kids out here. I really don't. I remember when everything was open, I would see during like around 3:00, I'd see a glimpse of some kids.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Boom. You don't see kids.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't really let your kids wander around in this
They
city.
don't let them out, dude. I don't even see kids out here. Well, there's nothing for them to fucking do.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? There's nothing to do. Every time I think I see a kid, it just winds up being some little freaking like Mexican. There's no, and sad to say, there's no good looking people out here. In AC, anybody good looking in AC is not from AC. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to diss AC, but they're not, yo. The closer they get, the uglier they all look like they're either still on something, used to be on something, or probably going to get something. Like they all look fucked up, man. There's just that's why I want to get out, because I'm looking in the mirror and I'm starting to see I'm getting like AC eyes, That's what I'm calling them. It's making me look like I'm seeing the hope just kind of dig out underneath my eyes, man. It's like I'm starting to look like I wonder when I walk the streets, do I look like everybody else out here? Because that's horrible. Because AC is just, I'm not talking on the boardwalk, and I'm saying like AC is like, there are no good looking people.
You were saying that last week when you were talking about coming out of your building. You're just into, I think you put it, I go out into despair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, perfect example.
That's what it's like.
After I left here, I went to go look at a 1-bedroom in Galloway.
Right.
Beautiful freaking I would have been living like the white people. You know what I'm saying? Coming out at night. I would have been the one that they said, oh, you let him into the neighborhood. Like that.
Right.
I'm looking at it. It was a little too small. It's beautiful. It actually got taken like that right when I left. The other person took it. But as I walked out, a chipmunk ran across my foot.
Oh.
And I stopped and I said, oh shit, a chipmunk. Like I bugged out. And then I got home and I went downstairs and I realized I had no Dutchess. So I ran to the store and then I hear from a block and a half away, yo, my man. I turn around. Yo, my man, can I borrow a quarter? I don't even know you. You calling me from a block and a half away. I don't know you, and you want to borrow a quarter. I don't know. When you going to pay me back? What am I supposed to do? Meet you tomorrow? Are we going to meet right here tomorrow? And at this time, and you're going to pay me back my quarter? What the fuck is it? I went from seeing a chipmunk to right back. I haven't lived out here without somebody asking me for something every single day.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you the story last week. I was taking my buddy. He had to go to court in AC. And I'm waiting for him to, I think he was just going to pay a fine or something. And I'm sitting there and I got like the window cracked. I think I was smoking a cigarette. This is a couple years back. And this lady just sticks her hand in my window with the bag. She's like, $2, it's yours, the whole bag. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of my face right now. One, I don't know what's in the bag. Two, even if there is something in the bag, it's probably worth less than $2 and I don't want it anyway.
Probably shit in a bag, dude. Did it have like a wet bottom, like greasy food?
No,
was it a brown paper bag or was it like a plastic bag?
It was a plastic bag. It was a plastic bag, and I don't even know what it had in it. I mean, it's probably trash. But
for $2, you didn't want to see what was in the bag.
No, see, I would have been better, because I used to have, I've had a scumbag past. You know what I mean? I know, a little bit about it.
You have rebounded well. I got to be honest.
Thank you, man.
Rebounded well. Look at that face.
Yeah,
I always forget that you, that you've went off some deep ends. I always forget that.
Yeah. So what I tried to do is, if I was selling something, I think the biggest problem I had is she didn't give me a good enough pitch. You know what I mean? If she would have been like, hey, listen, I got these nice socks. Or, these are some glasses that I stole from the bar. Yeah. I'll sell them to you for $2. I probably would have gave her $5 just because, she was on point. But the fact that she just jumped into my face and tried to do it, because I've sold people all sorts of shit I stole before,
yeah. Got them toothbrushes.
Yeah.
Everybody got to keep their teeth white. I had a crackhead lady when I went to Dunkin', which is another reason why I don't go to Dunkin' anymore. Just like I turn around and I see her walking up to my car. So now I go to the door and I'm just like looking at her walking toward the car and I'm wondering, what is this crackety crack chick going to do right now? And sure enough, she opens my door and starts to get in my fucking car, dog. I'm like, yo, no way. So I walk right over to the car just as she opens it. She's about to get in. I go, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, oh, could I get a lift to the bus stop? I said, I'm going to give you a lift to the bus stop. I'm going to pull you out that fucking car and I'm going to kick the shit out of you all the way to the bus stop. Get the fuck out of my car. Like, it's so...
The thing that always bothers me is the audacity that some people like that would have. You know what I mean?
It's like pre-zombie apocalypse out here in a way. At least, and it's crazy because I live in a pretty decent spot. Like it's right on the edge. Most of them I know. I don't know, man. I just there's a lot of despair, man. And after a while, you get tired of it. But I decided to stay. So obviously, there wasn't enough despair to make me move. And then I also thought, at the same token, like if I would have went home in Galloway and forgot my Dutchess, I would have to drive 20 minutes to go get Dutchess. So it's a give and take, I get to walk right across the street. There's always like a fucking store open.
You lived in the city your entire life, right? Or a city?
I was in Queens.
Entire life? Never lived anywhere else?
Nah, Queens, New York.
Yeah,
I lived a lot of spots in Queens, but always Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first time moving out of New York, and it was AC that I came to. Yeah, but I mean, listen, it's not that much different than every other hood. If they had like actual structural things on every block, it would probably, because like what always bugged me out about this place is you'll walk down a block. Like there's not like one section that's a bad neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can walk and see like nice house, empty lot, shitty house, nice house, shitty house, empty lot, nice houses. It's like crazy. Mm-hmm. There's no one place where you could be like, that's the bad area or that's the good area. So it's like a puzzle box that shook it all in there and said, there you go, AC.
The weirdest part is that area like north of the Ocean Casino, like right around that area, where like the Irish pub is up there. There's just rows of empty land a block from the beach.
Yeah.
It's like where else in any coastal city that there's vacant beachfront property, especially in New Jersey too.
Exactly.
It's corruption.
I'm not doing much to get to make it sound like it's the place to move to. I'm not really doing my part to pick up. But at the end of the day, man, I realize I say at the end of the day too much too. I watch the podcast and I'm like, I say that like every 5 minutes. It's a bad habit. I'm gonna try to change it, people. Either that or just make a shirt that says it.
I can hold up a card or flash it on the screen or something.
We should do that one day. We should do one where we hook me up to like electrical electrodes and shit. And every time I say it,
press a button.
You zap me. If I say that, or if I say, you know what I'm saying. We should do that.
We can get like one of those dog collars that you can put around your neck.
Nah, I'm not doing the dog collar shit. I got throat issues as it is already. I don't need to shock my throat. But I would do the electrodes, like when they try to make you start smoking.
Yeah,
I would do that. I would sit here and do a podcast where every time I say, you know what I'm saying, or if I say at the end of the day, you would be allowed to shock me.
I think that might hurt our friendship, man. I honestly think that would hurt our friendship.
That shit would be pretty funny. You know what I'm saying? And I just bug out like that shit would be funny, dog. I'm willing to do it for the sake. I don't know, man. I don't know, because I did get. Have you ever been hit with a taser?
I haven't been hit with the taser. There was one time where I was in some flea market with my mom, and they had this like electrical thing where you could test light bulbs. And it had like a current running through it, and I stuck my finger in there, and that fucked me up.
Yeah, getting electrocuted sucks.
It's not fun.
It sucks, man. I was talking that with my daughter the other day because she kind of got electrocuted. But yeah, it sucks because you just sit there, and it's just the craziest, weirdest. I mean, I'm sure if it's like a real killer type thing, it's even worse. But just enough to be shocked sucks. I got hit with a taser. My boy hit me with a taser because one time we all had one. And, of course, you're going to try to see if it works, and it was the ones that you see it. It was one of those.
And then you hit somebody with it, right? Like that?
He hit me with it and popped me, dude. Oh, my God. First of all, my right nut hurt for I think a week and a half, 2 weeks. My right nut was just not the same. In fact, I think that's the reason why my left one hangs so much lower than my right one now, because I think it just got like when it got shocked, it got terrified, and it's just hiding somewhere up there, man. Because I mean, there's always one lower than the other, but that one seems to, I've always feel like that one, he don't even come out when the weather's good. Like he just stays there ever since that day. I don't know if it was a nerve thing. But yeah, I remember my right nut hurt for like 2 weeks almost. And man, dude, I wanted to kill this dude. I couldn't believe he shocked me. And he was like, I didn't think it was going to work. I said, why wouldn't it fucking work? You've seen an electric current right through the fucking thing. You never watched Cops, man? Like it works. The fucking thing works. Yeah, they work. They'll chill you out. That, mace. You ever been maced?
I've never been maced before, thank God.
Yeah, man. I've never been maced, but when I was on the road with SSL, Smoking Suckers with Logic, when we was on the road, we got into like a little riot in Albany. And I only remember that place specifically because of, one, the riot, and also, two, I couldn't believe it was the capital of New York. It looked, and this is 1992, so it was a while ago, but it looked so run down. I was like, how is it the capital of New York? I was bugging out. But we got into a little riot, and during the fight, we were basically fighting the bouncers and all the bouncers' people because, they knew everybody from the club. We're the outsiders.
Right.
And they maced my drummer and my bass player. And who else did they catch? I think those are the ones who got caught directly. But everybody, like just the feel of it, hit everybody. That shit goes in your...
Yeah, you swallow it and shit.
Yeah, once I felt like a little zing, I said, fuck this. I jumped in the van and just drove that shit on the sidewalk, started not really running people over, but like, like the way they use riot horses.
Yeah, to move people.
Yeah, that's what I did. I went up there, even though I did wind up hitting my bass player. I did hit him.
With the van? With
the van, yeah. Not hard. I actually, it's a funny story. So what happened was we did a show out in Albany and they made us go on mad early. Like, I mean, the only people we played for was the people who worked there. And I remember there were these two kids that I asked them if they could open up the side door because they weren't old enough to get into the club, to open up the side door and let them listen to the set because we had just got our video. They saw us watching our video. So they were like, you guys are stars. Yeah. And then they came inside an empty club we did the show for. And the guy was like, you got to go on now or whatever. We were like, yo, it was like 9 o'clock. The place just opened. We were like, yo, why don't we wait till we should be going up around 11 o'clock. That's what time you do a show time. He said, no, we did the show. We got paid regardless. But like after the show, my DJ and his cousin went back to the hotel me, my boy Peter George, and the road manager, we went to this strip club because they had all you could eat buffet. And it's funny because people laugh about that shit, but when we looked it up, those are actually better buffets than normal buffets because they're under more stringent, things. They have to go under more.
Like you're talking about like health?
Health-wise and shit like that. Yeah. It's, so it's actually very clean. But we went there, and we ate. And then my bass player, my drummer, and my guitarist stayed at the club. Now we ate, we're coming back, and the place is popping. There are people on a line to get in, and the inside's already popping, right? So right away, I'm like, what the fuck, And as we're walking up to the club, we see my drummer and my bass player like getting thrown out. Well, the bass player's getting thrown out. My drummer's like defending him, like, yo, we played here. What are you bugging out? And we walk up and we're like, yo, what's going on? And I see like the bouncer, my drummer's big, Mr. Watts. He was a big dude. He used to look like Evander Holyfield, like a big dude. And I see this getting aggressive with him and the bouncer. So I kind of come in like I always do, don't realize I'm little. And I kind of like, yo, guys, chill. And I'm trying to tell the bouncer, yo, we just finished doing it. He wouldn't know because nobody was there for the show.
Right.
But I'm like, we came out to do a show here. We just performed, man, And just as I'm saying that, another bouncer reaches over and maces my my drummer. And then they all just jump on top of him. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I just see them snatching up everyone around me. He's getting snatched up. And I was like, listen, I'm little. It doesn't make no sense for me to just jump in that and just be another body getting fucked up.
Right.
So I jumped in the van. We had this 12-passenger van that was parked right there. Behind the van was like, 90, it was like 92. So you remember those Cadillacs with the gold things coming out and the gold rims? It was all white with all gold trimming. And it was a 12-passenger van. Shit was happening quick, you know what I'm saying? So I jump in the van and I pull it back to, to get it onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I smash the fucking the Cadillac behind me. I see the dude minding his business. And this is how I know he owned it because he was standing on the side just watching everything. And he said, my fucking car. So he came running and I start peeling out and he jumps on the side of the window and starts trying to pull me out the car. It was like, that show Beretta? You ever watch Beretta? Don't do the crime if you can do the time. You never saw that shit?
No, I never seen it.
Well, it was like that. He was holding on and I pull out and he goes rolling. And I look back to see what the fuck happened. I want to make sure I didn't kill nobody, So I see him rolling. And when I turn back around, I see my bass player maced. He just like stumbles into the street and I popped him. Not hard, but enough for him to, get pushed back.
Right.
And then I realized it was him, so I jump out and I pull him into the van. And then I drive the van up on the sidewalk and everybody's just going at it. They're going at it, but I'm kind of like, boom, boom, and I'm catching the person here and there, but not hard, And I'm looking to see, to make sure I'm not running over somebody.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, I see my guitarist just flat against the whole windshield. So I hit the brake, and 3 bouncers are holding him sideways like a shield, and they're telling me, "Come on." So I said, "Fuck it," and I hit all of them, and all 3 of them went down. And then just as I did that, cops start coming from everywhere, and I'm like, "Oh shit," because now I realize I got a fucking van on the sidewalk.
Right.
People, this shit. I got angels who watch over me, dog. Because if this shit went on today, so there was really nowhere I can go. I'm not going to try to get into a car chase in a 12-passenger van, So I just pull it off the sidewalk through the spot that I was in and like kind of make a half a U-turn and just park it. Like I just pulled it in and parked it. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was all right. And then I go to get the fuck out of there. And Mike's like, don't leave me, G. And his eyes is just watering and shit.
This is his drummer, right?
My bass player.
Oh, okay.
Nicest dude out of the band. Like he was the most peaceful dude out of the whole band. Oh man. So he's like grabbing me, like, don't leave. And I'm like, dude, I gotta get the fuck out of here, you know, and I'm kicking on him to get him off. And the minute I stepped out the door, like I try to walk out like everything was okay. I just try to walk out and I get tackled. And I look and they got my drummer, you know, and then eventually Mike goes to come out. They got Mike. And we're all like not fucked up, but like this dude's pouring water over his head and it was insanity. The cops came and they knew the bouncers. It was like, hey, what's up, Ray?
Yeah.
What's going on over here? Oh, when you coming over for dinner, you know, I was like, we are fucked. But my road manager at the time was also a lawyer. So he went and spoke to the cops and shit. And like somehow they let us go, yo. I don't know how that happened, but they let us go.
Do you have any idea what happened to the guy with the Cadillac?
Nah. That's a good question. Yeah, like I said, dude, it was like somehow we got away. Like somehow they would just like, go, get your shit and get out of here.
Yeah. They're not trying to deal with it. There wasn't anything, you know, big that happened.
I did hit a fucking Cadillac. I know there was damage.
Dude in the Cadillac could have had some shit in the car he wasn't trying to deal with, though.
People were fighting. I mean, I guess that's just a regular Friday night in Albany. All I know, man. I don't know what they're like out there, man. Maybe that was nothing. You know, do they do a lot of meth and shit out there?
I would have to say probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never done meth in Albany, but I would have to say probably.
I never done meth and all. You ever pick your toes in Poughkeepsie? Do you know what that is? You know what that's from?
Nah.
Oh, that's from French Connection. You never seen that movie?
I have seen that movie
Papa
before.
Doyle. Yeah. That is a great fucking movie. There's actually an interesting story of how all the drugs from that movie was housed in a precinct in Astoria. I don't remember what precinct it was, to be honest. But it's a book called Papa's Game. And it tells the whole story of how all those drugs were they were all brought into Astoria precinct, and that's where they kept them. Eventually, there was a fire in that precinct, and they had to move all the shit that they saved into another precinct. When they went to move the drugs, they went to retest all the drugs and weigh the drugs and, you know, make sure shit was there. All of the heroin that was seized in that movie was all fake. Now, it was real heroin when it got there, but now it was fake, like years later. I don't know how many years later it was. And it winds up that this dude who they call Papa, who lived on 14th Street, and he somehow got connected. You got to read the book. It's amazing. He got connected with like a cop in there, and they were tapping it. You know, it started with them tapping it, and they would replace it with, but it wound up they tapped so fucking much, it all just became fake. It was all just fake fucking shit. And they put all that shit out in Astoria and Queens, and it's crazy. Big up to Joe Bruno, man, for give me that book. That was an amazing book. You read a lot of books?
I do and I don't. I'm usually reading one or two books at the same time, and you know, I think I go on periods where I'm reading more than I'm not.
Yeah, I
got two right now that I'm reading.
Yeah, I can't do two at once because that's what happens. I read so many books that they start blending into, you know, one story. Mm-hmm. Like now it's like, oh wait, that was from this book. That was from this book. You know. But I watch a lot of documentaries. That's like the big thing. I actually got two recommendations for you after the you got
show.
some? Well, let's hear it.
Yeah, I'll tell you now. I don't know if you've seen it before, but the 7-5 about the precinct in the 75th precinct in East New York. The dirty cops.
The dirty cops. Yeah, it starts off with that dude testifying right off the bat on how they. Yeah, I saw that. Of course, I saw that.
Okay, and what about Operation Odessa?
What is that?
Operation Odessa is a story about this Russian gangster who's like based out of Florida, and he hooks up with these two other dudes, and they sell the Cali cartel a submarine.
Oh, I heard about that.
I'm not going to say.
I haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to say anything.
But I heard it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it is on Netflix. You got to watch that.
I'm gonna check that out, man. Yes, all I watch is all that crazy gangster shit, all that fucking.
What did I?
But you know, it's like the more I watch it, it's messed up because the more I watch it, I start to realize you can't. It's fake. It's like real, but it's fake. It's all faked. All of that shit. Even like I was watching 60 Days In, I got all into the shit right? And then they show this one scene where this kid gets snuffed, right? It's like this one main, I guess, character, but it's all reality. And like the dude runs up on him and snuffs him. But when I watched the scene again, I noticed that when they show him meeting, he's looking like this, he's got on glasses. When the kid is creeping up on him, the glasses are gone. Then they show him again, he's got on the glasses, and then the kid hits him, the glasses are gone. Which one, like, you know what I'm saying? That's some real serious editing bullshit right there.
Yeah, some continuity error. Someone should have caught that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, well, how many takes did they take of him getting snuffed in the face? At one point, now he really got snuffed in the face. That's reality. Yeah. But how many takes did they take to get it right? You know? Mm-hmm. Is it reality? Is it not? I mean, you got to get off the television, man. I just saw this thing the other day talking about how the television, man, it's funny. I remember growing up hearing 5%ers on the corner talking about the television, telling lies to your vision and this and that. And I used to be like, what's wrong with those people, you know?
What do you, I got to stop you real quick. What do you mean 5%ers?
5%ers in New York, I don't know where they're exactly not so entwined. I think it might be a religion.
Okay.
It's a type of religion.
I'll look something up and see if I can find it. Go ahead.
You know, it's one of those white man or the devil, you know, which I don't necessarily disagree. But it's one of those things. It's one of those, you know, neighborhood, they stand in the corner, you know, black Israelite type.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What does it say? What did you find?
Yeah, it's a cultural movement influenced by Islam, founded in 1964 in Harlem.
Yeah.
See, okay.
I know some stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so they would talk about how like the television's just, you know, they call it the television because it's telling lies to your vision was one of the things I remember hearing. And I used to think, man, you know, anything to make it sound cool or whatever. But the truth is, it's the truth. We've been programmed since we were little to like just be told how we think and all that shit. And we receive that shit programmed all the time. You know, like Disney is one of the biggest motherfuckers. Like I know right now, from this point on, right now, from this very second, I'm never going to work with it. Like this Disney, I will not be the next Ice Cube if this ever comes out. This will destroy. But the truth is I wouldn't want to, man. Them dudes is filled with like crazy, it's just crazy things that make you, and I'm not talking like the full blown, because there's big conspiracies on Disney, big, huge conspiracies, like how there's, you know, sexual things just subliminally
right.
all
and,
around.
Anti-Semitism, stuff like that too.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this. I used to have my daughter, I used to always show all that shit, Beauty and the Beast, you know, all that shit, you know, and I remember people like, oh, that's showing bestiality. And I'm like, come on. It's a little make-believe, a little this, a little that, you know, it's just fairies and shit. And, you know, but then I bought The Hunchback of Notre Dame to watch with my daughter. And never was I more like, the more I watched it, the more infuriated I got. Like, I didn't even want to let her finish watching it. And I remember my ex-wife being like, why, you know, what's the big deal? And I'm like, yo, you don't see, like, what they're showing on it? There's a scene in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? I think it's somewhere in the beginning where, I don't know, I forgot her name. I don't know if it's Ariella or whatever. They're always one of those Ari whatevers. Where she's dancing, right? She's dancing in the street, singing a song, which, you know, Disney characters do, right? But then at one point, she takes the dude's spear, throws it, it sticks into the floor, and then she starts swinging in a circle on the spear as she's singing and dancing, and all the dudes are throwing gold coins at her.
Really? Wow,
What is that?
I don't remember that. That is
what is that?
That's pole dancing, my
Am
friend.
I bugging out or is that stripping?
that's
I'm sitting there with my 8-year-old daughter and I'm saying, wait a minute, is this bitch stripping right now without like, she didn't take off her clothes, but you know what I'm saying?
Pole dancing. Yeah.
I said, what the fuck is going on right now? Oh, you're making a big thing out of nothing. I am. She just swung on a pole and they threw coins at her. What the fuck is that? They're not making it rain.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it to me.
Come on, man. I saw that. I started bugging out.
So
that scene with the fucking priest where he's like lusting over her and the flame comes out like her and he embraces it. He's taking the whip and whipping himself to like.
This is I don't know if I've ever saw
Disney fucking movie,
I don't know if I ever watched The Hunchback.
You didn't miss nothing, but like if you want to see some sick ass shit that they're selling to our kids, check out fucking Hunchback in Notre Dame. It's some sick shit.
So what do you
I threw it out the next day. I said, we're never watching that one again. You can still watch your Little Mermaid and all that shit, but and then I hear people dropping those movies and I'm like, oh man. It's fucked up because my daughter loves Disney. And for the sake of her doing, wanting, maybe she might want to work for Disney one day. I'm not going to say, too much more. But yeah, I mean, the phones is listening, man. Everybody's listening. Certain thing. I don't think Disney actually rings off as anything to worry about. You want to know what I find so crazy is with all these fucking conspiracies, right? All these like theories. Isn't there enough on some shit that like some answers should be, you know what I'm saying? Like some of these shit should be addressed, don't you think?
Yeah, so I think about this a lot, actually. What bothers me is that there's so much evidence that either the government or, different sorts of industries have wronged us in the past. And then people are like, oh my God, Joe Biden, he's gonna be the guy who saves America. Or anybody for that matter, whether it was Obama or the people with Trump. It's like, where have you been the last 60 years?
If you don't realize that the left wing and the right wing are both wings on the same bird, then you're bugging out.
Yeah, I don't.
Then you're bugging out.
And I don't understand why people, think like why they have any sort of faith in any sort of institution or government whatsoever. Like what evidence have you been given that is giving you that? And the only thing you can really
trust.
What's that?
What makes you trust? What makes you trust them? They've proven over and over again that they'll lie to you. They'll let you die.
Yeah, and it's like
they'll kill you. They'll let you die. They'll kill you. Like.
And it's like the Patriot Act when they put that out after 9/11, right? And basically, it gave them the right to do whatever they wanted. They can monitor us at any point. Any one of these webcams, this camera, this thing we're recording now, both of our phones.
Which is probably listening right now because we already said government and we said the word trust and can't trust the government. We really should not have our phones this close to us. Not that they won't find it. They're going to find it, dude. I believe there's little words that just trigger it to listen. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to start saying what all those words are that I think they are, but I'm sure we've mentioned a couple of them already, man. But yeah, it's a scary thing to talk about how you don't trust the government. And the funny thing is, it's not the American... Like as Americans, isn't that what at what point are we supposed to just trust the government? We're Americans, man. We're supposed to question all things. But
that was really the nature of what this country was fucking founded on, was distrust for another.
Was about questioning our government and keeping our government in check. That's why, right? Like I said, I'm not a fucking dude that knows a lot about history in that sense. But from what I understand, the Constitution is supposed to protect us and keep us with the power to keep our government in check. Mm-hmm. Supposedly they're supposed to work for us. I mean, last I heard, we elect them and they're supposed to work with our best interests, but it's like anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's good in theory. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like in theory, it's good. But once you give people power, they tend to bug out. You look at, Che, when he was doing the revolution shit with who was it that he wrote with? Was that Castro?
Yeah,
right.
Che Guevara, yeah, yep.
When they first started doing that, man, because I read that whole biography. That shit was thicker than the Bible. But when they started doing that, they had very noble,
intentions.
Yep. But then they became corrupt. Well, not Che. That's the reason why Che broke out, because he didn't like what he saw. He didn't like the fact that they were driving Mercedes. They basically just took over all the shit that the other people were doing and now started doing it themselves. They say in the book that when Che Guevara's wife was in labor, that she begged him to drive one of the cars that the government had given him, and he never drove. And he told her, no, get on the bus like every other person in this country does when they're in labor. They get on the fucking bus and go to the hospital. It's crazy. And he had cars at his disposal that he didn't use.
Right.
He didn't feel right about it. So in theory, a lot of shit is like, you can't say that shit like not communism. What's the other one? See my phone when I said that word.
Socialism.
Socialism. In theory, socialism is actually, in theory, everyone has the same. You know, what you got, I got. No one has more than the other. We all, in theory, but that doesn't tend to work out that way. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing, even what we got that people claim is so great, democracy is so great, and it's better than all the other options. But just like all the other ones, it's really good in theory,
right?
Because with greed and all that stuff, it's just there's a lot of evil entwined in that. We don't live in a full democracy as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's our government's actually, it's a constitutional republic. It's not actually a democracy. We vote for people who then vote and make laws on our behalf. Is really how it works.
Yeah. So, and you can only vote for two sides. Any other side trying to come in, you're not going to do it. You're not going to come in. No other side's going to come in. Because they already got us thinking that there's two separate sides. You know what I'm saying? Unless they create a third side, no other side's going to come in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not giving up that power, dog. No matter who wins, the agenda still moves forward. The bird still flies. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's so busy looking at the wing. The bird's the motherfucker that eats you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The bird's the shit with the beak. That's the shit that eats you. Stop looking at the wings and start looking at the bird. Start looking at the agenda. The agenda's the shit that just keeps going forward. Even now with all this shit, man. The way it's going on. Summer's coming. So everything's lightening up, of course. You know how hard it is to control people when it's 85, 90 degrees out and sunny?
Especially in like cities and shit like that. I mean, that's when usually all hell breaks loose.
It's hard to control people like that. To tell them it's easy to control people in the winter. Stay home. Shit, it's 30 degrees outside, motherfucker. No problem.
Yeah.
I'll stay home. Don't go out. Good, I don't want to go out. It's fucking raining and cold outside.
What do you think? I don't know if we talked about this last time, but what do you think is going to happen with this like mass situation? You think it's just going to? I asked the question. You tell me. I don't want to.
No.
Yeah.
They're not going to just say stop wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just going to be like you can stop wearing a mask. I just think eventually people are just going to get tired of it in some sense. Hopefully people just get tired of it, man. If everybody just said, but the problem is you got people that believe in the whole theory of the mask. You have people that believe the mask works,
mm-hmm.
And that's always going to be the problem. So those people will always wear it.
And they'll be the vocal ones too.
Of course. See, that's my thing. I don't care if you want to wear a mask. I don't care if you wore a mask. There were Asian people walking around wearing masks before any of this shit ever hit.
Yeah, it's like a cultural thing out there. They wear masks when they're not feeling well, just to not, try to get anybody sick. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, and I don't mind if people want to wear the mask. But what the fuck is with these mask fucking Nazis? You know what I'm saying? Like fucking man, I'm walking in the street and they're looking at me. A fucking crooked eye, man. Like, what the fuck you care? We're outside, dog. And they'll come over to say something. And I'm like, well, if you have a problem with it, why didn't you just stay over there and keep fucking walking?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think? I got stalker virus? That you walk that way and my it's going to turn around and chase you down? Shut the fuck up.
This is kind of like what we were talking about last week with people, not listening, is people don't think anymore. They don't think. Like I had a friend of mine. We went out to dinner, and I was asking him to come out to the comedy club with me sometime. Just to like get him out of the house or whatever. And he's like, "Well, I don't really want to, be around like all those people." I'm like, "Yo, we're in a restaurant right now." He's like, "Yeah, but they got these. They had like these plastic, like there was like booths all up next to each other, like in a diner, and they had these plastic dividers." I'm like, it's an airborne thing, right? It's airborne. It's in the air. Like this plastic divider isn't like none of it's doing anything. It's all. I got
optics. A question. Once you take an outdoor area and put plastic all around it, doesn't it then become indoor?
Yeah. I think walls and a roof are the definition of what's indoors.
You make a tent.
Yeah.
You go in that tent. Aren't you indoors?
Yeah. You're not outside anymore. Yeah.
You're no longer outside, right? Like, I don't get that whole shit. They turn outdoors into indoors and say you're still outdoors. And that's the problem that I have with everything, man, is that it's just like there's so much shit that just don't make sense. And people just blindly want to follow whatever they want to follow. Go ahead, follow them. Just leave me the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? You want to believe all that dumb shit? Believe all the dumb shit. I don't give a fuck. But I read this person. Look, man, what do you want me to tell you? And I hate when people go, oh, you don't believe what's going on. Then what's going on? I don't know. I wasn't there when the whole plotting took place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, I don't need to physically be able to tell you where shit is if we walk into a room and I smell shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we both walk into a room and I smell shit, even though I don't know where it is, I definitely know someone's shit in this room. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might not see it. It's not my job to find it. I'm just telling you, I smell shit, dog. You don't smell that shit?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And just because you don't say, no, I smell shit too, but I don't see it. So that must be you. No, motherfucker, that's you. You don't smell that. People don't see, like, even the way it's all been, and it's so funny how, like, I loved, like, today I was watching these things about the Democrats and Republicans, and one is, you know, destroying the Democrats about how they did this and did that, and the Republican rebuts. So, yeah, but look at this, but you're all garbage. I said it, you're all garbage, man. I gotta be careful, man, you know, because I might die, like, you know, from natural causes and fucking, they'll kill you anyway when that, and it's all, yo, the dude who's supposed to testify for HC, I don't like to say her name out because my phone will really start recording, who seems to have a body record. Like, they got like so many people that have, so many friends that have died. Mysterious deaths during very convenient times for them. And nobody feels like there's some explaining that just needs to be done. I'm not saying that that shit is true. I'm not saying that the seas went and, I know my phone's gonna start listening, but fuck it, it's out there. I'm not trying to say the Clintons went and killed all these fucking people, right? I'm not saying that. But I'm saying there's enough questions that at some point, shouldn't somebody be able to explain that? Are you telling me you're just lucky? You're just lucky that anytime one of your friends decided to, like, do something that wasn't loyal, mysteriously died of natural causes?
Yeah, man. I mean, I kind of related to, it's like what the mafia got in trouble for. You know what I mean? They were doing like, you look, you know, you take the institution behind what they're doing and you look at all the actions that are the same between, you know, the government and the police and the mob, and they're running the same things. Like, all the mafia did was they took a tax on stuff for their personal gain, which is what we do all the time. You want to do business somewhere, you got to set up your LLC, you got to pay your taxes, and you know, the mob was just trying to get a piece of that.
Fucking taxes. They're the biggest mob in the world, dude. I don't even want, like, I'm going deep, man. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna fucking, I don't want to get, listen,
I'm right there with you.
I'd rather get killed than get audited. So I don't know how deep I want to go in on that one about the eyes. You know what I'm saying? But taxes is some bullshit. Like, they just hit me up, like, I owe tax, right? Oh shit, it's due today. My payment is due today. I plan to pay the whole thing off anyway. But I owed them, I got it down to 600, right? And I was debating whether or not, you know, because I happened to find 600 in, you know, the creases of my couch, right?
Right.
So I found 600 in the creases of my couch, and I said, oh, this is money found. I should probably just get rid of that tax bill. You know, I owe them 600, fuck paying 100 a month,
right,
still a bill, you know. So I was just about to pay them, and I get another letter saying that from 2018, I didn't give them enough, and I owed them $66. So now I owe these dudes $666.
It's a weird number to owe somebody, my friend.
Fucking devils, dude. They're devils. And my thing is, I don't remember them ever showing up to do a set for me ever. Like, I don't remember them ever, like last week when I did that show with Zach with the fucking stupid ass waitress. I would have loved for the IRS to show up and do that set. Do that set, dog. Do that set. I don't want to do this fucking You do it for me. Then you're entitled to something that I make. It's the most craziest thing that people say, oh no, there's nothing like taxes make sense. They don't make sense. How does that make sense?
Yeah, see, it makes sense on it.
And when I say taxes, I'm talking income taxes.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because like we pay income taxes, and then everything you pay with the money they let you keep is taxed. Everything.
I know, man, dude. I run my own business. Every dollar that I make, I get 70 cents, and 30% of that has to go to the government for them allowing me to operate my business in their country.
Yes, and then you take that 70 cents, and you go to Wawa, and you buy something for 70 cents on the sticker, and it's gonna come out to 78 cents.
Yeah, I think what is it? 6.25 or 6.625%.
Something, but I don't know.
No,
I'm
yeah,
just
I think
saying,
it's like 6.625.
Everything you purchase, everything you do, there's taxes. So we're already paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? And what are we gonna do with our money? What are we gonna do? Hoard it? Sleep on it? Make cabinets and shit in our house out of it? No, we're gonna spend it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we spend it, that's where you get your taxes, motherfucker. That makes sense to me. Because you need taxes to keep the government running and this and that.
Yeah, and I understand like property taxes too. Like you want to live in a nice town, you want to live in a safe town, you want to live in a town that's got a police department doing laps around it to keep around people you don't want.
In a town that has police department. I want to live in a town where there's no.
Oh yeah. I understand.
I don't want a police department in my town.
Yeah,
man.
but I'm saying if that's what you
Long
want,
Island. That's where the town is the police department. But none of them come driving around looking for shit. You're friends with them all. They don't fuck with you. You chilling. But I don't want to be too close to police departments. I want to be where I can go out and just stand in my backyard naked, and there's no one around to fuck with me. Freedom, climb a tree, grow a coconut, pull down a coconut tree. I'm just saying, like, I think it's totally ridiculous how people, like, they say, you gotta pay tax, and you gotta pay those taxes because they will fucking get you. Al Capone, dog. You think about one of the first original gangsters. How did they bring him down? They didn't get him for murder. They didn't get him for extortion. They got him on tax evasion. You know what I'm saying? On taxes.
Mm-hmm. I pay all my fucking taxes, man. You got to.
I pay every cent of taxes, and that's not a challenge to look. I don't like to be talking about. I don't want to get audited because I don't keep receipts and shit like that. But whatever you see going in there, that's what I got.
Fortunately, we don't make a lot of money.
I don't make a lot of money, so they ain't gonna fuck with me, man. Hopefully, this will get buried deep in. Am I ever gonna stop talking shit? Probably not.
I hope not.
Nah, I'm not. Because the truth is, man, it's the more people start to listen, the more I'm gonna start to just go deeper into things I gotta say, and it's never gonna be popular. I prefer they take me out quick, man. I hope they don't do it like I don't want to die of natural causes. See, that's the thing. You'll find me like in a gym, dying of natural causes from a bar on my neck because I didn't have a spotter, and yet all my people will be like, G never went to the gym. That brother didn't go to the gym. He used to work out in his house. He didn't go to the gym. And they'll be like, nah, that's a normal thing. They don't care if it doesn't fit. Like, they don't care. They don't care how stupid it looks. They will throw some dumb shit right into your face. If you look at all the major conspiracies, like the major ones that for some reason people still believe to be true, like Kennedy, one shooter. The fact that people still believe there was one shooter is an amazing thing to me.
And even the fact that, like, I don't even want to get into it.
But I'm just saying in general, the fact that people still believe that there was just one shooter, even though there's so many things that say there's obviously more than one shooter, and yet they believe it. You go to September 11th and you try to argue how some shit don't connect, and people are like, no, it's exactly what we were told. That's what happened.
Yeah,
even though all the evidence says, listen, that's not how it happened. Shit, people died, but that's not what they're telling us. They don't even try to make it believable. That's how little respect they got for the average mind. For the average mind that most people would say sheep, but I would just say the average mind. They have such little respect for them that they don't even try to give you a good story.
I mean, even look at the coronavirus thing. First they said it came from this wet market, right? And I saw an article the other day, which I knew, like, at least believed to be the cause, is there's this laboratory that does testing on like crazy viruses in the city that it came from. And they're like, no, it definitely didn't come there. Like, well, you know that for sure that it didn't come from there? That's just what you're saying. And then even like in the beginning, they were like, no, you don't need to wear a mask. When they knew we should have worn masks, but they didn't want us to go out and get them because they wanted them for the people who needed them. And they proved they've lied over the past year, and people are still like, whatever he says is true. Dr. Fauci, the God.
And any doctor who went against them, no matter how many lives they've saved, no matter how many operations or books they've written and studies, if they went against them, they're nuts. They're lying to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are making arguments on both sides of the spectrum. It's up to you to choose. That's what used to be America. You choose to believe whichever one you want to believe, but don't push that on me. I didn't give a fuck about the coronavirus till it started affecting me in the sense of just living my life. I didn't give a fuck. My attitude was, if I get it, I get it. I looked at the percentages. I got good percentages of living right there. Look at the percentage. That's another thing like that killed me too. Just the fear mongering of people. But look at the percentages of people that are actually, so it's got a 98 point something, you're probably going to live.
I saw an article yesterday that said, it was from a reputable source. I don't know, some newspaper or something like that. It said 78% of people who were hospitalized with the coronavirus were either overweight or obese.
So, see, that's the problem too with the internet, dude. Because when you can't control information, the next best way to combat information is by putting out more information.
Yeah, you bury it. You
put out so much information that nobody knows, that nobody knows what's true anymore. There's certain things, like when I look, because I dive down that rabbit hole a lot, especially when we were locked down. There were certain ones that were easy to just go, okay, let's see. There was the Q, right? Wasn't that what it was called? The Q? Where they were saying how Trump was going to arrest everybody and they were going to hang, everyone's going to get arrested for all this pedophile shit. And they gave a date. See, I love when they do shit like that, because then you watch and they go, okay, let's see what happens on that date. And the date came and went, and their whole prediction of the way it was going to go, Biden was supposed to win, and then you look and go, okay, that one they were wrong on that one. And not to say completely wrong either, because I still think some of them dudes are out there fucking touching little baby BBs. I do. I think it goes on, man. Hollywood, dog. Hollywood has always been shit since back in the day. You got to watch you like documentaries, watch Girl 23. That's an amazing documentary about how grimy, fucking Hollywood is. And this is from like the 20s. This took place. Some chick that, back in the 20s when he had all those movies with all the girls that they dive in the water, like one after each other. That shit, all those chicks and like all those big, those girls were all like underage, dude. 18 and younger. You know what I'm saying? 17 and younger. They were all young girls. And in that documentary, they talk about how, they would have these parties and make these girls go to the parties. And this girl 23, was one to speak out about it. And they ruined her. You know what I'm saying? They ruined her. She wound up going into like hiding for years, and they found her and did this whole documentary.
Yeah, I gotta check. What was it called?
Girl 23.
Girl 23. All right, I'll have to watch that.
It's a fucked up story, man. Yeah, man. But I love all that documentary shit, man. I love I love the ones on. I like the serial killer shit. Not gonna lie.
There's a really good book that I gotta see if I have it for you. My dad might. It's called The Devil in the White City. It's about serial killer.
Was that White Devil in the City?
Devil in the White City. It's about the 1896 or 1900 World Fair in Chicago. It was like the first time they had electricity, and like at the World's Fair. That's why they call it in the White City. But this dude, who was a con artist, came into town and he built this like murder building where he was, because all these like girls and people from all over, the US were coming to Chicago to try to get work, to try to find a permanent place to stay, to try to find a husband. I mean, this is, 1900, United States.
Yeah, easy to get away with murder back then, man.
And he had this like gas chamber inside his like, in this like building he built. He pretended he was a pharmacist and hooked up with the pharmacist's daughter, and then killed the dad, took the business over, and then had the building. I'm not going to say any more, but I'll see if I can track it down for you.
What is the name of that?
It's called Devil in the White City.
I'm going to have to check that out for sure, man. I like those.
My dad's got a copy of it.
The cult leaders. Those are great to watch. I'm always amazed how people join cults. Did you ever see Bad Religion?
No.
On Netflix?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh my God. It is so enjoyable, dude. How, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's the Puerto Rican in me, but watching a bunch of intelligent white people follow some crazy, idiotic, because most of the time, let's keep it real, white people are mostly in cults. Every now and then you get a couple of Spanish and black, and every now and then, if the cult's really flashy enough, if there's enough free sex involved. Good music. In Bad Religion, it's this dude, Misha. That's his name, Michel. They used to call him Misha. It's not Misha, Michel. Misha is actually Mike Merkovich's character. Michel, that was his name, Michel. This dude, he had like mad followers. He walked around in Speedos, black Speedos, and Ray-Ban glasses, and a Rolex. That's all he did. And he had like this blonde hair, like Ken doll blonde hair. And he was just so flamboyant, right? Completely flamboyant. Everybody's hitting me up like they don't know we working right now, man. Completely flamboyant, right? So he got this cult, and basically what he has them doing, they create this village, and what he has them doing is putting on like big, huge productions, like musicals.
Right, okay.
Right? That's what he's got them doing. When he's not preaching to them some crazy shit, he's making these big productions and people are singing and dancing, and it came out afterwards that he started telling the dudes they couldn't sleep, with the women, like they couldn't have sex.
Red flag number one.
Which that always winds up happening, man. Like it winds up, that's when it's a cult, when the brother goes, I'm the only one that can fuck your women. But he wasn't fucking the women. It turns out he was fucking the dudes. And everybody was like, what? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in shock that the dude who walked around with Ray-Ban glasses, Speedos, and a Rolex was fucking dudes and not the girls. He was putting on fucking musicals. What did you think he was doing?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like they were surprised that he was fucking the dudes. Why are you surprised? I'm surprised you didn't notice that. I knew that shit from the 3 minutes into the fucking thing. I was like, oh, he stopped him. He's fucking the dudes. That's what he's doing. And all the women were so upset. And it was like, yo, if he wasn't fucking y'all, what did you think he was doing? Really not having... It's insane. And what's crazy is people left after that. And then all of a sudden, I guess he wasn't good enough. A couple of dudes stayed. But he has a whole bunch of new followers, even with...
This is now?
Even with this documentary being out, he still has it's not as many. He has now he has when they did the documentary, he had 40. You know what I'm saying? That's still 40 fucking idiots, man. You just found it, right?
Yeah, I'm looking.
You quick with those fingers, dog.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that? I should have took typing. But you quick with it. Yeah, the dude he's probably still got his shit going on, man. I mean, I saw this movie. You know how bad I am with time, man. I'll say the other day, but it was probably like a year or two ago. It was on Netflix. You can still catch it on Netflix, actually. It's an hysterical one to watch, you know. You ever saw the one with the dude with the bears? That in the end, he gets eaten by the bears? That's a funny one, too.
I did see a Wild Wild Country, which was about the Indian cult that got built up out in Oregon.
Oh, I watched that one. Yeah, that's another one.
Weird.
That's another one. And the dude...
They started poisoning people with like E. coli at like the local like restaurant and buffets and shit like that.
Yeah, they're crazy, dog. They took... Well, you know what? See, but with them, they... I feel like they kind of got into war with these people. Like, in other words, these people kind of got into war with them. They kind of want to set up and do their old free love. And, like, the town kind of came against them and kind of provoked them. It was a thing of the town was trying to be dicks, but you can never be more of a dick than a cult.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a cult is always going to be dickier than your biggest dick that's not in a cult. You know? Because I can just think of shit and tell my people to do it, and they'll do it. It's insane.
Yeah, and they were that cult that was out there in Oregon.
That dude is still around though.
So is the chick. The chick's like in his like consigliere. I don't know what they called it in the thing, but like his right hand man was this woman, and she's like in Switzerland or something. Right
yeah,
now.
but she did her time though. She did time in jail. If I'm
thought
correct, right?
No, I think she was. I think she's been on the run.
Did she just fly to Switzerland?
I think
she's gangster.
Yeah,
I liked her. She was gangster. She didn't take no shit, man. Yeah, if you didn't see Bad Religion, check out Bad Religion, man. That chick was she was gangster. She didn't give a fuck. That was definitely I saw that when I was actually I was on the road with fucking what's his name? Shit, I'm so terrible remembering names, man. Either way, I don't even remember where I was. Memphis, I think. I don't know. I was stuck in a fucking cabin. And I remember thinking, if I fucking get eaten by a bear, this will fucking suck, because I've been talking about how I'm not going to get eaten by any bears for like the last 2 years. And then this dude brings me on the road and puts me in a position where I could actually get eaten by a fucking bear.
You were right.
For me there?
Yeah, you were right. She had a 20-year sentence and got out in 39 months on good behavior.
There you go.
That's fucking nuts. That's like
go.
No time at all.
No,
39
she's not
months?
even white. So that's very amazing. Dude, she's not even white, dude.
Yeah.
That's very amazing that she got out that quick. To keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That is some shit. They gave her 20 years. She got out in 13 months.
39.
39 months?
Yeah, but still, that's like...
39 months.
It's like 4.5 years.
Yeah, that's still some time put in.
No. It's less than 4 years. It's like three.
My math ain't all that good.
12 and 3 is 36. So it's 3 years and 3 months is what that is.
You probably could have typed that on the calculator
Would
real quick.
It would taken me longer.
Yeah, but I love that shit, man. That one was really good, man. That one was really good. I love that shit. I love all that, like, I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm so into it, because it's like there's no middle for me. You know, I'm either like watching shit about serial killers and like, you know, forensic files or whatever, or it's like Family Guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm the same way, man.
It's like the most dumbest, non-having to think type shit, or like the crazy shit with like killing or whatever. Like First 48, dude, I can't.
That's the best. That's one of the best shows on television. You want to talk about a true reality TV show?
That's the thing, dude. Once again, I'm seeing the little like things of they did that in like 3 or 4 takes. Like I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, like it's nothing is real. Nothing is real that we see on that television.
This podcast is one take.
Yeah, that is true. This podcast, this is real. What you hear, like if I fuck up and say something stupid and it potentially could ruin my career, it will. You know what I'm saying?
It will go to air.
But you can't even ruin a career that's not even a career, man. So fuck it, man. You know, fucking cowabunga, bitches. That's the best thing about. But that's the best thing about being I'm not even semi-famous, but being able to play on a constant basis where like, you know, if you jack yourself up enough, you feel like you're a little bit famous. Not really famous, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't gotta worry about shit. What, you know, not like they can take my career. I don't really got a career.
Right.
You know, what are they gonna, if I insult somebody, what are they gonna do? Go on Reddit and say, Gary G. Garcia insulting me. And everybody's gonna be like, who? Who the fuck cares? You know? Who? Oh man, I'm getting blown up from everybody. We got a show to get to actually, man.
Hey, we gotta get to Philly.
We're heading out to Helium. It's my first time headlining on like a major comedy club, man. So that's dope. And it's my first time doing a show in Philly. I'm a little juicy, man. I noticed that last time, man. I gotta keep tissues and shit for my spit buildup. I'm excited. Let's see what happens. We're gonna go out there. When we hook up next week, we'll let you know how the show went. Unless you're there, then you'll know how it went. Till then, man, you got anything you want to add?
No, I got nothing.
Well, till then, man, if anybody want to come check me out, you can follow me on Gary G. Garcia. You can come see me at ACJokes in Atlantic City. You know, check us all out, dude. New York's opening up again. I'm excited. Hopefully we get some niggas going over there. Hopefully people start making money again. That would be nice. But until next week, people, God willing, I will be back. And if you guys are down to come back, I don't know how I feel about this show. I think we started off slow, but got a little interesting.
I think it got interesting too. Yeah, we kind of went. We took a hard turn somewhere there at about. 40,
a lot of things went on
in.
before we got here, people. I'll stay more on point. I lost a bunch of stuff that I actually wanted to talk about and got confused. I'll stay more on point. I'll make sure my shit's a little tighter as we grow. Anyone who listened to the first one, I appreciate you. And if you stuck around this long for the second one, I appreciate you even more. I'm Gary G. Garcia with producer extraordinaire Brian Licata, man. And this has been another episode of Rated G. God bless, people.